Hey there, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. As you know, on this channel, we talk about how in life it's not only me and it's not only you, but life's ups and downs are universal. So, today, as we continue in our Becoming series, I thought it would be good because we go through different seasons in life to talk about becoming her alone. Being able to do something by yourself is so critical. And when you are looking to make a transformation, you are the constant in that transformation. So why not get comfortable with doing that transformation alone? There are times, of course, we pair up with people and we partner with people, and it's always good to have a buddy or something. But more crucial and critical is being able to withstand something alone. Not that that is the ideal way to do something, but it's almost like if you can do something by yourself, then you can do it with someone. I would love to dive into that. So let's get started. The main thing is you're going to go from thinking that I'm doing this alone to I'm being shaped right now. And that helps you go through that journey a little bit stronger with a greater sense of security and a stronger mindset. One of the things I want us to take away from this episode is that solitude is not a punishment, but it is a form of preparation. Even biblically, people would sanctify themselves or set themselves apart as they prepare to become something, as they prepare to go in an understudy type of setting. So, not punishment, but preparation. I like to do the intro and then we start our drive. I don't know why I always do that sometimes, but yeah, so now we're going to get rolling and we're going to get into it a little more in depth, a little more detail. So, with becoming her alone, and the goal is not to remain alone. We know community is important, partnership is important, connection is important. But if you can withstand something alone, you will ultimately be stronger. The alone part is for space. Oftentimes, we can't grow or we can't evolve when there's a lot of noise happening. And noise not necessarily being auditory, but just noise in the form of things, actions, people, even clutter. That can be a form of noise. And what I've found is that when you can retreat, when you can quiet your space, you're really able to do a lot of that introspection. And some of those different journals that are down below, journal prompts and worksheets, those can be done in those quiet moments when you have taken the time to clear out the noise. I want to mention too that people's opinions can also be noise and a distraction. And who your trusted, confidants are and how to integrate the feedback or the things that they're saying to you. But there's also a time for you to listen to yourself. And sometimes we can't listen to ourselves when we have so much going on around us. And here are some things too that you can start to notice when you are in solitude. And I jotted them down. So you can notice what you actually like. You can notice what you actually believe. You can identify things that you have been tolerating that maybe under other circumstances you would not tolerate. And you can truly reflect and begin to design the kind of life that you truly want. These are things that you can notice once you've allowed solitude to exist with you. And the type of clarity that you can get from this solitude or this space, it's often hard to come by when you are doing a lot of accommodating or attending to, the things or the needs of others. I know that it's not possible to put everything down, But if you are able to have moments, just have moments where you allow yourself to notice things and you allow yourself to envision and process and think through, that itself is enough to have transformation and have change take place. All right, so I want to give you some practical ways of implementing this. And what this can look like is spending time doing something that you would normally do with other people. So you're someone who you don't go out to eat by yourself, or you always go out to eat with other people. This could be something that you could explore. If you don't like to be in a park by yourself, of course, think about the time of day, be safe, but go ahead and go to the park, go on a walk. If there is even a museum, some sort of activity that you want to go and see, an exhibit, go ahead and go and do that. I found too, even with workout classes, they're full of people. You don't have to just go to a class with someone. I did a hot yoga class by myself. Of course, there was people in the class, but I went by myself, and it was nice. It was nice. You surprise yourself sometimes when you are in a place that's unfamiliar to you, how open you find yourself. Oddly enough, sometimes when we're with people, we can be only open to them and we're closed off to everybody else. But when you are in a situation and nobody is there that you know, right? You are more attentive. You're more aware. Somebody maybe says something or does something, and somebody drops something. Maybe you help them. You would have been engulfed in the person that you were with, probably. You wouldn't even have noticed things like that. So I believe that your self-connection can get increased with this solitude and being aware of the space that you're in, giving yourself space. The next part of this becoming her alone is learning to be your own source of support. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you kind of build a God complex. That's not what I'm saying, because there's a song and it talks about being able to encourage yourself. It's a beautiful song. It talks about how there are times in life when you have to encourage yourself, when you have to speak words of encouragement over yourself, regardless of all the things that are around you. You can speak that encouragement over yourself. You can have a positive outlook on life. You can embrace yourself, comfort yourself, but in the Lord. And that's the gist of what that song is saying. I believe it's called Encourage Yourself, I believe. But that's very true in our walk in life. We do have to be able to encourage ourselves. Even you can get to a point in life where you can even refuse to be comforted by yourself. You can decline that comfort from yourself. Everyone else as well, but you can decline that comfort from yourself. And that is a dark place to be in, when you cannot even help yourself out of a situation, regardless of allowing others to help you, but you cannot even allow yourself to come out of that situation. And that is a horrible place to be in. I wish no one to be in that place. But if you are in that place, just know that you can get yourself out of it. You definitely can get yourself out of it. I have been able to hold myself when things have felt uncertain, in the midst of confusion. You can help yourself have that peace and that assurance that it's going to work out. And with you being able to do this, you can build self-trust. And this could be you're encouraging yourself maybe when nobody else did. And you're doing something, nobody notices your effort. Encourage yourself. And I have a list of things where I want you to be able to pull from these. Comforting yourself when someone disappoints you. I don't know what life you're living where you have not or will not be disappointed by someone. I've heard people mention that they don't get disappointed because they have low expectations. You will be disappointed. I believe a better way to say that is I am not surprised when someone does not meet an expectation that I have. I'm not surprised. So that's a better way to say that, because to say I don't get disappointed, I don't believe that's true. Of course, the degree to which someone might still be disappointed, where they could almost say, hey, I'm not even really disappointed, but you are disappointed. The level of disappointment may vary, of course, and ultimately you might say that I'm not surprised that you did not meet my expectation, but ultimately that's still a form of disappointment. And then the next one that this could look like is you're doing something and it's an accomplishment. Celebrate your accomplishment. Even if you do it quietly, celebrate your accomplishment. Even if it's a small win, celebrate it. Even if you're just verbally recognizing it, celebrate it. As you build this self-trust, you will ultimately at some point notice, maybe right away, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, but you'll notice that you're not seeking that external assurance as much as you were. There will be a change in that assurance being needed, being sought, and ultimately you'll have a higher level of self-confidence, a stronger air about yourself, and it will show. It will show. All right, now let's walk through the practical ways to build that self-trust. Like I mentioned, when something goes well, pause and acknowledge it. Instead of waiting for someone else to give you some sort of attaboy or attagirl, pat on the back, whatever. You're not going to wait for that moment. You're going to be proactive. You're going to build that self-trust with yourself. Another practical example, when you feel discouraged, speak to yourself the way that you need, the way that somebody, if you have an example, like a close friend has said something to you in the past, you can reiterate those words, or you can simply say words that you need to hear. Say those words. You can create some small routines that make you feel cared for by yourself. You can go for a walk. You can have some quiet reflection time. You can build an evening routine, some tea, a candle, a show, a back massager, whatever can give you a sense of comfort and a feeling of being cared for and loved. You can create those routines. You can build those into your day-to-day life. As you go on, minute, hour, day, week, month, quarter, year, you will notice that you do have what you need. You do have the ability. And ultimately, it will provide comfort, stability, peace in your life. It can definitely do that. You just have to open your arms to it. You have to realize that you are partnering with yourself. There may 100% be people around you, but you are partnering with yourself. You are checking in with her, you inside. You have those reflective moments, those extremely valuable check-ins that are going to allow you to see yourself, hear yourself. So in this season, sunshine, You are becoming her despite what's going on. Actually, you're probably becoming her because of what is going on. The more difficult your experience is, the more beautiful the resolution of it will be. I wholeheartedly believe that. I do. I believe that. Large, magnanimous, difficult, almost insurmountable tasks can open us up and help us in ways that we never could have imagined, because who would imagine that you'd be facing such a thing? Who would have imagined that, right? And because you couldn't have imagined that, you also can't imagine who you have to become to get past that, to go through that, to make it on the other side of that. Let that small thing of the end result guide you in the big present that you're in right now, because this is the critical time. In another video, I can't remember which one it was, but I talked about the example of how you can walk into a situation one way and you can walk out another way. But the big piece, the big part of that, how you walk out, is what you do in that room. That's the biggest part. Sometimes people face things, and when they're in that room, they choose to call it quits on their life. Sometimes when people are in that room, they choose to stand tall and go through, prepare, shed, whatever they need to do. They make a decision to persevere. There are going to be days when you don't feel like you're making much traction. But the fact that you're going forward and moving, you are making traction. You are. Celebrate yourself. Like we talked about in this video, celebrate yourself. Do not let those accomplishments, small, big, in between, don't let them hit the ground. Catch it, recognize it. Use this time alone, this time apart, to really determine and build up the woman that is going to step into that next chapter, so she can be stronger, so she can have a clearer mind, so she can be more secure in herself. Use your time wisely. We can really waste time in life. And I've wasted some time. I have. And even too, just from a day-to-day perspective, right? People waste time scrolling. But let's not waste time. Not that we need to be haste and busybodies, but let's not waste our time. Don't allow people to waste your time. You don't waste your time. Even if I have a dedicated time to do nothing, that's intentional. I'm not wasting my time. I needed a moment. I needed time to reset, to relax, to prepare. That's not wasting time. Wasting time is not being aware of the purpose of the moments that I have. Just letting it happen. Be intentional with your time. Be intentional with your thoughts, your words to yourself. Let it be intentional. Let it be very intentional. You got this. So no, you're not behind. Everything had to happen the way it happened so that you can become who you need to become. Don't waste any more time. Be intentional. You got this, sunshine. You got this. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. I love you so much for watching. Leave me a comment. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Check the description box. And be intentional. Be intentional. All right. Well, have a beautiful day. Bye.